Within Irish mythology exist the four treasures, also known as the Jewels of the Tuatha Dé Danann. As mentioned in a previous video, the Tuatha Dé Danann are a tribe of gods known in Irish mythology who came to Ireland from the far north. They brought with them four instruments of magical power from the four island cities, Moras, Fáileas, Gorreas, and Findias. The four jewels also refer to the cities themselves, as each city held a great source of knowledge. There they taught science, architecture, art, and a wide range of magical abilities, including even necromancy. Each island city symbolized as a stepping stone on the journey of achieving an ultimate understanding of life and the mysteries that it holds. I believe that the four treasures of the gods were used as inspiration for Elden Ring, and their four counterparts exist within the lands between. The first jewel was the great Stone of Knowledge, called the Spear of Lugh. When a true king of Ireland would sit on the stone, it would shriek beneath him. The second was the Spear of Lugh, which made its bearer invincible. The third was the Sword of Light, the Blade of Truth. And finally there was the Cauldron of the Dagda, which could satisfy the hunger of all. The Stone of Fál, Spear of Lugh, was from the city of the north, Fáileas. It is said that long ago the stone would loudly roar whenever a king of true Scottish or Irish heritage sat on it, and therefore it is referred to in England as the coronation stone. The stone is an oblong block of red sandstone that has been used for centuries in the coronation of monarchs of Scotland. Through the stone's power, the king would be rejuvenated and would enjoy a long reign. Receiving the Spear of Lugh's approval was one of the several trials would-be high kings had to pass. According to legend, Cuchulainn split it with his sword when it failed to cry out for his protege, and from then on the stone became silent. It became lost to time, that is until Conn of the 100 Battles discovers it by accident. A druid explains the meaning of the stone to Conn, and says the number of cries the stone makes is the number of kings who will follow after Conn's reign. Then, a magical mist arises. Out of the mist rides a horseman who asks him and the druid to follow him to his house, which stands on a plain by a golden tree. After entering the house, they are welcomed by a woman in a gold crown, representing the sovereignty of Ireland. First, they see a silver vat bound with golden hoops, full of red ale, and a golden cup and a serving spoon. Then they see a phantom, a tall, beautiful man on a throne, who introduces himself as Lugh. The Spear of Lugh is rooted in the concept of sovereignty, which involves integrity and the validation of one's path. According to Celtic wisdom traditions, the goddess of sovereignty, embodiment of nature, is the ultimate kingmaker and legitimizer of authority. In Elden Ring, the Erd Tree is a golden tree that stands tall in the lands between, commanding a presence over the inhabitants residing there. The Elden Ring is the source of the golden hue. The glow is symbolic of the grace given by the greater will, an outer god. The golden hue is only an outer layer, as the bark of its original form lies underneath. The original form of the tree is referred to as the crucible, a primordial life and closeness to nature itself. The Erd Tree was once warm as the gentle sun, and would gradually heal all those who bathed in its rays. Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, treasured the Erd Tree's blessings, and even waged crusades for the sake of the Erd Tree's influence. During his time, the amber of the tree was treated as precious jewels. Radagon, the second Elden Lord, attempted to repair the Elden Ring after Queen Marika shattered it. He still remains in the tree attempting to repair the order, as a seal of impenetrable thorns protects him from the intervention of the Tarnished. To become the next Elden Lord, you must go to the Erd Tree to claim your own sovereignty. The Erd Tree has close ties to each sovereign leader, although the Golden Tree itself does not shriek for the new Elden Lord like the Stone of Fál. On the other hand, we can find Oracle envoys near both the Erd Tree and Malikula's Halig Tree. The Oracle envoys are abandoned musicians who herald the arrival of a new age with the sound of their booming trumpets. The Stone of Fál and Erd Tree share roots with the sovereignty of their lands, as well as a closeness with nature and an ability to rejuvenate or heal. From Gorreas, south, comes the Spear of Lugh, the second jewel and an impossible to overcome weapon of raw power. Its incantations allowed it to never miss, as well as to return to its master upon hitting its target. The tip of the spear is said to have been kept immersed in water to keep it from igniting. Meanwhile, in the lightless depths lies the Mohgwyn Palace, housing Mohg, Lord of Blood, heir to the first Elden Lord and a demigod in the lands between. In his possession is Mohgwyn's sacred spear, a spear symbolizing his destiny and dynasty. Its ability to pierce the Formless Mother allows it to never miss close-by enemies, as well as coats the Great Spear with blood flame. Its source of power is derived from accursed blood. The Spear of Lugh and Mogwen's Sacred Spear are both fiery weapons of grand destruction that never miss their mark. From Thindis, east, comes the Sword of Light. When pointed towards a target, they could not flee and would answer any question truthfully. It is described as a glowing bright torch. Typically, the legendary quest to find the Sword of Light is a sort of quasi-bridal quest, where the hero finds the bride, but then suffers a loss, becoming oathbound to never return home until he has completed his quest. The hero in some examples are compelled to perform a set of tasks to acquire the sword, aided by helpers, including the would-be bride, helpful animals, or supernatural beings. The sword appears commonly as a quest object in Irish folktale of a hero seeking the one story, which culminates in the discovery of the tale of a werewolf, in which a man magically turns into a wolf by an unfaithful wife. This story reminded me of Blad, the half-man, half-wolf shadow of Ronnie. The Sword of Light's counterpart within Elden Ring seems to be the Golden Order Greatsword, or the Dark Moon Greatsword, as they are different versions of a sword given as a bridal gift by a Carian queen to her spouse, as a long-standing tradition within their royal family. The Golden Order version was bequeathed to Radagon, the second Elden Lord by Rennala, during their union, while the Dark Moon version was given to Artarnish by Ranni during our union if you decided to help her quest to free the lands between of the Greater Will. The Golden Order version is described as being made of light, while the Dark Moon version beams with the light of the full moon. The source of both blades' brightness are derived from the power of outer gods. Both of these great swords share many of the same qualities mentioned in the legends of the Sword of Light, as both relate to marriage, as well as shine brightly with an otherworldly powerful light. From Moras, in the west, comes the Cauldron of the Dagda, which no one left unthankful, for it provided unlimited food and sustenance. The cauldron is a central symbol of reconciliation, finding harmony through merging of society's knowledge. From the experience of lords to the intellect of poets, all share their perspective into the cauldron. In the lands between, on the frozen mountaintops to the north of the Erd Tree, sits the Forge of the Giants. The Forge currently holds the eternal flame of ruin, and is guarded by the last surviving fire giant, cursed to tend the flame of the fell god. The Forge may be connected to the Crucible as well. A crucible is defined as a metal container heated to high temperatures to melt down other substances. The crucible in Elden Ring is described as a kind of melting pot for life. The ice dragons were once lords of the mountaintops long ago, until they were defeated by fire giants and chased from the peak. Dragons may have made the forge, as it's connected to a chain leading to a dragon's head, the chain suspended by its teeth. And we do know that dragons share many of the same aspects related to the crucible, such as wings, claws, horns, and tails. Personal theories aside, we can clearly see that the Cauldron of Dagda and the Forge of the Giants are connected in the way of containing eternal sustenance, which is defined as maintaining of something in life or existence. In the Cauldron's case, it contains endless metaphorical food, representing knowledge, while in the Forge, it contains the never-dying flame of ruin. Notice that like the four treasures of Irish mythology, as well as their counterparts in the lands between, they're all connected to the divine. Remember, the Tuatha Dé Danann are a tribe of gods that possess the items, while the four treasures within the lands between are connected to the outer gods. The Erd Tree to the Greater Will, Mogwen's Sacred Spear to the Formless Mother, the Dark Moon Greatsword to the Dark Moon, and the Forge of the Giants to the Fell God. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you have a wonderful week.